Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. And I'm off by 5 minutes, Mike. I think. Let's see, where am I? Oh, yeah, Poinciana Parkway update. No, do you want to do yours, Mike, or do you mind Mike bringing you in 5 minutes early? Okay, got it. You don't know that Mike texted me this morning and said, I'm going to be late for the meeting. I said, that's fine, just be here by 9:35. That's my guess. It would have been 9:35 if we hadn't had this additional discussion, so it's Bill's fault.
Good
Never
morning,
mind.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, perfect, all right, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman,
morning,
members
Chad.
of the board. Welcome, Tawny, and thank you for approving the task authorization. Tawny and I met with Jeff this morning, and we discussed everything that was in there and what we would or wouldn't do for the authority. And please rest assured that we will only be doing the work that is necessary in order to make sure that the Parkway continues to operate successfully. We have a very successful project right now, and we want to make sure that we continue in that mode. The status as of, it should say February 14th, is
Cut
that...
and paste will get you every time.
Yeah, I know. The final acceptance was issued on December 22nd. We are finishing up assembling the final documentation for the project. We have delivered about 99.9% of it to Frank and his staff here. The final payment to Junior Davis UIG, the joint venture that was the contractor for the project, is still pending. Just so that you're aware, it is pending because we do not have all of the paperwork that all of the subcontractors have been fully paid. There is one outstanding issue with an invoice from Kinder Morgan for the valve relocation. Kinder Morgan, for whatever reasons, had not submitted an invoice to Junior Davis for Junior Davis to pay them. That is part of...
How long?
That is part of the three-party agreement that was signed by the
long time
Expressway
ago.
Authority, Junior Davis, and Kinder Morgan. We did finally last week receive the paperwork from Kinder Morgan. This has been very painful. It is being...
Well, it was very painful earlier dealing with it. Done.
Yes.
Sorry.
It is being reviewed right now as we speak, but we are going to recommend payment. It is within the confines of the original agreement that was signed. We just need to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed so that nothing comes back to the authority down the road.
Yeah.
I cannot answer why Kinder Morgan did not.
So, the Kinder Morgan fee was an add-on fee or included in Junior Davis's proposal?
It was included in Junior Davis's proposal. It is not a contingency item.
Okay, therefore, the fact that he didn't get the bill yet or any of those other issues still requires him to pay it.
It requires him to pay it. We have already paid Junior.
Okay. Okay, just want to make sure that wasn't a
And this is the
contingency.
only subcontractor that's out there that needs to be dealt with?
We do not have final documentation. I believe that is the case, but we do not have all the final documentation to be able to verify that yet. That's what we're in the process of getting.
So we still have retainage for Junior, or have we paid that?
We have not paid him his final invoice, no.
Okay.
We still have $130,000 in round numbers, $130,000 that he has not yet been paid until we can make sure that everything is in fact complete.
And he's good about paying his bills, but
Oh, yeah.
protocol is...
Oh, yeah.
We get
Protocol
regular
is-
lien or whatever
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
satisfaction you use in this world to make sure everybody's paid.
Yeah, it's a paperwork issue and it just takes time.
Okay.
There is one small construction issue. There is a crack in the pavement on 1792 at the very south end of the job. There's also settlement of the curb. And we have sent all the information to Junior, and they are going to be getting back with us by Thursday, close of business, on when we can sit down and work through the remediation. It's covered by the warranty for the project.
Okay.
We will also be going out in March, which would be the 90 days after final acceptance, to do the first inspections. We know that there are a handful of pine trees that are not thriving to the point where they should be, and so we will be addressing that issue after the first inspection. Now, this is the graph that you saw the last time from December 18th through January 7th. The green line, it's hard for me to see the colors from back here. The green line at 6,000 is the traffic and revenue study projection for December. The blue line to the right of that with the kind of stars on it, that was the 2017 fiscal year projection. And those sets of lines up there, that is at the Marigold Toll Plaza. The bottom set of lines is at the Koa Toll Plaza, and you can see Marigold exceeds the projections. Koa was below the projections and below 2,000 cars a day. This is January 15th through Saturday, February 11th. We crossed the 8,000 mark for the first time on Friday. That was very exciting.
I saw it.
The only days that are below the fiscal year 17 projection are Sundays,
Right.
which we would have expected. Monday through Friday is substantially above. We did have a toll increase at the Marigold Toll Plaza on January 31st. It increased 25 cents per axle. So the transponder toll rates are now $2, $3, $4, and $5 for 2, 3, 4, and 5 or more axles. There's a 20-cent surcharge for pay-by-plate, which is consistent with what we have been doing all along, which is also what CFX charges for the pay-by-plate transactions. I was very pleased to see that after the toll increase, we had a little dip, but we are recovering. We will, of course, continue to monitor this, but it appears that we have not had a detrimental effect by the toll increase. I will also note that the Koa traffic is doing a little bit better than what we had expected. There is some impact on the traffic that goes through the Koa Plaza because of what is going on at Cypress Parkway.
I think that's finally clear.
It's getting there.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on Cypress on both sides. It's over.
Yeah, well, it's for the Solavita entrance, and what they had done is they had actually had Cypress Parkway closed down to one lane, not one lane in each direction, which is all they have. It was flagged, and they'd let one direction go while the other one stopped, and then they'd let the other one go. And so there were some substantial delays on Cypress Parkway because of that.
Are they done?
I don't know.
I understand the lanes are all open.
It's my understanding that the lanes are open. I was going to check that on my way back after the meeting.
Yes, Keith?
Are the lanes open?
Todd Hansford, County Commissioner from Polk County, got a letter from the construction manager saying that they were done as far as shutting down the lanes.
Okay, there you go.
So that should help us.
Thank you.
And this is our weekday average traffic, so it takes out Saturdays and Sundays. And, you know, the dips are the ones that you're used to seeing. It was Labor Day weekend, it was Hurricane Matthew, where we did not collect tolls for 4 days, and hopefully a lot of people stayed home. The Thanksgiving weekend and Christmas and New Year's, but we are back on the upswing, and we will continue to monitor this. But our total volumes are, in fact, ahead of where we had anticipated.
We crossed over for the board's, so the board knows, I get a report every day on every toll booth and the transactions on those toll booths, and I actually look at them every day. I need to get a life. But that said, we were at 10,600 the other day, total transactions.
Really?
On Poinciana Parkway.
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
That was on Friday. Friday, for whatever reason, Friday
the day.
is our high day.
Yeah, that's the day.
And,
Except it was Thursday. It was a Thursday that 10,006 was on. Friday was actually off a little bit, that number.
But
I'm
it's
pretty
very-
sure, I might be wrong, because sometimes I look at it,
Yeah, sometimes the
It's-
dates, it's very exciting. I mean, you can see that we're still on the upswing, and, you know, we're responding to queries and questions that we get. There was concern about the toll increase, but it was part of the financing plan for the
Yeah,
project.
and I've spoke to that. I had a group meeting, we had 30 or 40 people in Poinciana the other night, and we went over the toll, and basically, you know, some people, they have two concepts that people struggle with. One of them is, you actually, once the road opens, you really do have to pay for it. And one of the ways that we got financed was to have an incremental toll increase over time, with this quarter designated 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, when we went to New York. That was part of the deal, why we got financed. The other is that roads aren't free, and that tolls don't go away, that by the time we pay off the road, we got to rebuild the whole thing anyway. So if we don't escrow money to be able to do that job, we're never going to be able to maintain the quality of the infrastructure that people expect because they're paying a toll. And so when you explain that to people, they get it. But it's hard to explain that to 300,000 people in Osceola County at all at once. So, but other feedback, there are areas of Polk County that would use the Cypress Parkway connection that may not be as aware of the time saving that would give them, and they're not using it yet. And there might be an opportunity to market to those areas, to tell them, you know, really is a better way to do it, and try this. So we might want to consider what that would be and where those places would be, and do a mailing with a, you know. And the other half is that I'm not sure, unlike Osceola, Orange, and Seminole County, whether people in Polk County can get a free transponder sticker. They can? Okay, so that would be part of that. Well, Wendy is saying they can, and that is my authority. I was actually speaking to Wendy, but I was doing that as a general conversation. She knew it, but nobody else did. So, so we need to maybe let them know that they can get, because in Polk County, they may not have the E-Pass concentration in Polk is probably substantially lower than it is at other places.
They're on just direct door-to-door mailing, and CFX, we now included their brand that explains that everybody can get a free
Okay.
sticker.
One of the things I do want to mention about the traffic is that we have in the peak hour in the peak direction reached 600 vehicles an hour, which is an excellent number. But we will need to start monitoring the trends for when we start getting a bit of congestion on the two-lane facility, so that the appropriate plans can be put in place to be able to implement the next step, which was a four-laning and then ultimately a
said we
six-lane.
needed to do that in like 2023 or 2024. Perhaps Joe Stanton would remember that. Do you remember when the four-laning became viable in that TNR study? No, okay.
I think it was around 2030, but we are so far ahead of the projections
Right.
that we just need, it's not tomorrow that we need to make a move, but we need to keep our eye on the ball, because it takes a little bit of time to get.
The real issue is how many trips can we get it northbound through 1792 at Kenny Harmon Road at per hour? I mean,
Right.
what is the capacity of that intersection?
We
And
need
I would
to-
assume with the right-hand lane, left-hand lane, and straight-ahead lane, we're up to 1,500 cars an hour that we could efficiently get.
And if we get the extension to 532,
Yeah,
that
that's how
buys
the
us a
problem-
little more
that
time as
problem
well.
goes away. Then we have to deal with what we're doing to 532, but we'll get to there.
right.
What's
Just-
exciting is, at the rate that this is increasing, it'll be sooner than later that we actually four-lane the Poinciana Parkway.
That is the number one question I am asked by people that are actually using the road.
Sure.
People-
These numbers are escalating way off
Yeah.
plan.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
Yes, and we don't want to take our eye off the ball. It's very important
Absolutely
that this
not.
operate well and be well-maintained,
Right.
so that we can continue to serve your customer base. It's a choice for them to take this road, and we need to make it a good choice for them.
Okay.
So you know what the real deal is? We need more roads now.
Really?
Maybe yesterday.
Well, boy, that's a revelation.
Okay, our next
you're
step is we are going to finish compiling the documentation. We expect to have all of that completed by the end of this month. We are going to do the traffic analysis for Cypress Parkway because we had opening the road, Thanksgiving holiday, the Christmas holiday season, the first of the year, then the toll increase. We have not yet done the counts, but we expect to be able to get those done in short order and be able to get that through the process with Polk County. The traffic signal at Cypress Parkway, the task authorization for the actual construction has been issued to traffic control devices, and they are working on the installation right now, and we will continue with our bond disclosure reports.
It's just concrete pole and wire, right?
Yes, it is a span wire, concrete pole, big wire, bunch of traffic signal heads hanging off of it. The decision was made to do it that way because ultimately Cypress Parkway will be 4-laned. And there is a limitation to how long the mast arm can be when it's a permanent mast arm, the metal pole with the mast arm and then the signal heads hang off of that. There's a limitation to how long that arm can be, and we looked at, could you put the mast arm in on the south side of Cypress Parkway and still service the lanes which are on the north side of the right-of-way? And no, the arm was too long, so there is an installation of a strain pole. It will stay in place until such time as the ultimate intersection configuration is implemented, and then it will be upgraded to a mast arm. And just so everyone understands, it is a Polk County traffic signal. The intersection of Poinciana Parkway and Cypress Parkway is in Polk County.
And the maintenance of that traffic signal is Polk County's maintenance once we pay for the installation on the traffic.
That is absolutely correct, yes. And they have bought off on everything all the way through. We've been working with Polk County.
I always like to put those things in the record just for the fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
No, they have been very cooperative.
Yes, they have. They have.
Good people, then. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? Good people.
Yeah, good people. Yeah, we built them a $10 million road project
That's right.
around Crenny Harbor Road for $6 million. They got a deal.
Good.
Oh, well, it's good.
Does anybody have
All's
any
good.
questions?
Nope. Anything for Jan?
I had just two brief comments. One, on the next update, could you include the truck traffic as far as a percentage of your traffic counts?
Both of them?
Just anything?
No, both of the trucks?
Both? Is that it? Is it really low?
It is, we have substantially more two-axle vehicles than anything else.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
But
nominal.
we will look at that. We had some construction traffic up through the middle of November, which elevated the truck percentage, but we'll look at that. It is low.
It was 4